12 years ago, he came to Hainan with the determination to protect the lucid waters and lush mountains. What are his gains and regrets in his passion for public welfare? Every day at 4:30 p.m., the cultural station of the Bai Long community in Milan district of Haikou is bustling. By this time, the children are after school, but their parents are not yet off work. During this period of time, a group of volunteers from universities in Hainan take up the task of keeping an eye on the children.
各位白龙的小朋友们，大家下午好，好不好？好。
Li Long is the director of Haikou Lvya Youth Charity Development Center. 4 years ago, Li and his team came to Bai Long community and started the 4:30 Harbour Public Class. On October 1st, 2020, Haikou began to implement the domestic waste sorting program, promoting knowledge about waste sorting through public classes all over the city is a new part of Li and his team.
那现在呢，我想问一下小朋友们，在海南我们经常喝什么？喝水是每天都要喝的啦，还要喝什么呢？树上的樟树的可见椰子水是吧？这个椰子喝完了，水喝完了，那剩下这个椰子是什么垃圾啊？有位同志知道？抢答，我看一下。好，你说。他说是厨余垃圾啊，那位同志。大家觉得是什么垃圾啊？
Traveling the streets of Haikou, Li's classes are becoming more and more popular. The 31-year-old Li has been doing voluntary work for 12 years. Looking back, it's been a rough road. Just a few years ago, Li was facing a life choice. He had to decide whether to return home or stay in Hainan. Ambitions and love, ideals and reality. What gains and losses would Li face in his passion for public welfare? In 2009, Li was admitted to Hainan Medical University, so he came to Hainan from his hometown in Sichuan. Soon he was attracted by the blue sea and the beautiful sceneries here.
我们家乡啊，就感觉是灰蒙蒙的，就是都是盆地。但是，一到了这边之后呢，我们就发现，哎，哇，这么空气又这么清晰啊，这碧海蓝天的，当时觉得很美，然后我们要去保护它们，所以当时我们就马上就叫我们的同学一起，我们就去清理垃圾，去海滩，去假日海滩。所以当时呢，就是这样的一个萌芽，就是让我要去，觉得这个太美了，我们要去保护它。
Li was actively involved in volunteer service in college. During his sophomore year, he's elected president of the school's Environmental Protection Society. Li soon discovered his society wasn't as popular as other societies on campus. Because of some restrictions, the activities of the Environmental Protection Society were very limited and rarely attracted students to participate.
之前才20多个人，就是整个会员呢，加上这个干部，可能20多个人，然后是比较少的。然后呢，当时就觉得，就是大家就可能对环保就是这个认识啊，就觉得好像环保协会就是去捡垃圾。
In Li's opinion, doing environmental protection work is not boring. To attract more students, they had to integrate environmental protection into a variety of activities. Therefore, Li, a sophomore, began actively campaigning for sponsorship and resources, contacting other environmental protection societies in other universities in Hainan, and organizing a series of events such as Don't Litter and Earth Hour. Through constant effort, over 200 members and thousands of students were involved in environmental protection activities the following year.
通过我们的这种活动的实施策划，最开始拿一些这个支持，整合一些社会资源的时候呢，你就发现能力就不断的在提升，然后你知道就去找谁，然后去怎么办这件事情，然后怎么去做策划，怎么去做实施，然后怎么来执行啊，然后整个的这种，我就感觉就特别的顺手了。
As the society got better, it was time for Li to graduate. how to support himself after graduation became the first problem to be solved. Li had always wanted to set up a charity organization to retain these like-minded friends. However, the results of his efforts disappointed him very much.
一个没有办公室，没有人，没有什么别的资金和资源的支持，人才也留不下来，然后就是很多的困难吧，然后也感觉好像这种做起来好像没有达到我想要的这种规模和我想要的这种结果，所以当时就回到四川了。
Many times, Li wondered whether doing public service could be a career for him. He's been looking for opportunities. In 2015, Li returned to Sichuan and joined a pharmaceutical company, handling sales for the Sichuan market and earning over 10,000 yuan a month. Despite this stable income, Li was not satisfied. The public service team he had formed in Hainan at that time was still running, and the members would often call him for advice when they had problems.
虽然说收入也不错，但是感觉实现不了自己的人生价值吧。感觉好像就是每天除了工作就是工作，然后在挤这个地铁，感觉也是人比较渺小，所以当时在那边的话没有归属感。然后真正离开了海南之后，发现还是海南适合我自己。
In July 2015, Haikou started the Urban Renewal Project. The municipal government called on the whole city to act quickly to win the title of National Civilized City and National Sanitary City in 3 years. Li was inspired by the remarkable event and was determined to work on his vision one more time. In November of that year, Li returned to Hainan to start preparing for a new public welfare organization, Lvya Youth Charity Development Center. Lvya refers to the green environment and the blue sea. Li wants to contribute to the protection of Hainan's environment through the efforts of his team. Since the first day of Lvya, Li has been leading the volunteers to actively participate in ecological protection in Hainan.
其实有很多的事情可以做，所以当时呢，我们最开始我们是以环保这一块来切入。那么的话呢，我们是当时出资我们的志愿者，就去为这个像一些海滩一些公园清理一些垃圾去做一些环保宣传所以当时就是去做这样的一些工作。那后面又去做一些湿地保护的宣传包括我们当时也去了100多所学校去做这个环保理念的这个宣讲。
In Li's memory, Haikou Bay is the place where the volunteers are most concerned. Unlike today's best location to tag, the corners of Haikou Bay used to be a disappointing place.
那个时候我们去捡的时候，那个时候其实那边是渔民区其实很多的渔民还是有一些排泄物也很多还是有点臭的这个地方是非常臭的，都没人去的。
In 2017, Haikou launched a marine ecosystem restoration project focused on the ecological restoration of Haikou Bay, Zuying Port and other bays and harbors. Li led his team to actively participate in it, promoting environmental protection to the public, leading volunteers to clean up the garbage, and trying to make a little change in Haikou Bay. However, when his career was going on the right track, life gave him a heavy blow unexpectedly. The girl who had been in love with him for over 3 years had also participated in public welfare activities, together with Li. But seeing Li make doing public service his full-time job, and devoted almost all his time and energy to it after work, she chose to give up the relationship.
可能在某一个阶段吧，想去做一些想做的事情，有些时候不可兼得吧，就是这样子。有些时候，但是有些时候，确确实实是，失去了才知道去珍惜吧。然后如果 再选择一次的这种机会的话，我希望能够在这个当中做好，切切实实去做好权衡，然后去把这件事业和这个爱情吧，都要兼顾好。
Lee was devastated by the breakup, but the efforts of him and his team have made a real difference. Today, Haikou Bay has a new look and is an ideal leisure destination for citizens and tourists, and it attracts more and more people to join the ranks of volunteers.
现在就成了咱们的这个大家一起的这种点我觉得真的不容易，真的，我不止10多次的去清理这个地方，真的是当时，跟现在做这个对比我们发现真的通过双创之后在后面又创建国际实力城市我发现真的海口越来越美，越来越美。
The Meshi River, the Wuyan River, and the Dongxi Lake in Haikou have all been systematically restored in the Urban Renewal Project. As a result, Haikou was honored as one of the first group of international wetland cities in 2018 and has become a wetland museum without walls. Today, the Lvya Youth Charity Development Center has trained more than 3,000 outstanding volunteers who are working in the streets and alleys of Haikou. As a public welfare organization, in the view of Lee and his team, they are wherever they are needed. They are willing to use their enthusiasm to warm the city.
我是比较喜欢做这项工作，我觉得能够带着一群人去做一些自己想做的事情，然后去帮助到别人我觉得这个是个非常有意义的事。
The cause of building Hainan Free Trade Port needs aspiring young people like Lee. You, me, him, her, and millions more. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean.